All right, team, it's high time for another weekly recap, and I want to start on the yards. A lot of amazing improvements happening on the lumber yards this week, and specifically Murfreesboro. So this is the receiving area in the Murfreesboro yard. Definitely needing some 3S, some sweep, sort, standardized, just something that had fallen through the cracks, and the guys took action when it was identified. Look at this. In 24 hours, they had all of this done, and then making some continuous customer service improvements with a rolling cart. So thinking about the incoming delivery drivers as our customers, making it super easy to serve them well, even plans for the future for an awning so we can move that outside to get even closer to where the work is happening. Great job, Murfreesboro team. Another good example of 3S in Mount Juliet. This is where the main dumpster goes, and the picture on the left, it had not been cleaned around that dumpster in a while, so when the full one got picked up, they took that opportunity to 3S. Thank you, Travis Brown and Mount Juliet team. Really like this improvement from Travis and Mount Juliet for multiple reasons. So roll of paper towels, typically just sitting there on the counter. They end up wet from water on the counter. They end up wet from people grabbing them with wet hands when we have that dispenser right there the whole time. And so that bugged Travis. He took the opportunity to 3S, set the new standard here. I like this because it's standardized, but it's also just thinking about the next person. Respect for your team members. Way to go, Travis. This is an awesome lean improvement. Moving over to 424, thank you, Cody and team, for this. So use your head, not your wallet. The 424 team uses a lot of shrink wrap, but they were out of the hand rolls. So they cut these larger ones down and just made their own. Again, use your head, not your wallet. Go solve the problem. Take action. You guys are all over it. Thank you, Cody and 424 team. Another great one from 424. So 2x4 pressure treated is one of those items, one of those rare items we keep in number 1 and number 2. Number 2 for plate stock, number 1 for more handrail type stuff. And that creates opportunities for defects, and we did not have a good visual control. Now we do. Great improvement. Another great fix what bugs you from 424. So the team got tired of cleaning bird poop off the Barbara's Veranda sign. So they got a little barn owl to help that issue. Love that. Again, the barn owl just needs a name. So what is it? Lance and the Tiger team always shining a light in dark places. This is in the warehouse at the Murfreesboro yard, replacing some lights that were out with some nice LEDs. Thank you, Lance. Thank you, Tiger team. Improvement here from 424. So the Allura is in the back of the yard, and if somebody's picking up siding, fiber cement siding, you have to go pick it with your lift. It's super flimsy. It can break. You got to find something to sit it on. They now created a process where they took this old pallet where they can snag that if they're going to pick up some fiber cement for a customer, throw it on that pallet so it's safe and secure to transport across the yard to a customer without a defect. Awesome improvement, 424. Love this. Really big one right here. So been running this experiment in Murfreesboro on reshuffling the way we stock the pine. Instead of stocking it by dimension, all 2x8s together, all 2x10s together, etc., stocking it by length. So all 8-foot material together, 10-foot, etc., because that's the way you're going to pull it. Can't believe we haven't done this previously. They ran the experiment for a while, and it's going really, really well. Eliminates a lot of transportation waste. Really good job, guys. This is great. From outside to inside, Sophia has been crushing it in finding better processes in BizTrack and sharing those with the team. So here's one when you're going through and cleaning up your orders, which is a key 3S process for the office. Rejecting multiple quotes. Previously, it was a lot of clicks. You had to do them individually. She found a process where she could reject multiples at a time, saving a bunch of clicks and a whole lot more than 2 seconds. Sophia, you're awesome, and thanks for sharing this with the team. From Sophia, so some 3S sweep. The carpet in the coordinator area had not been shampooed in a while, and it showed. So Sophia took that upon herself to shampoo that carpet, clean it up for the team, and it looks so much better. Sophia, thanks for finding ways to 3S in the office. Anthony's not going to let Sophia outdo him, so really cool here. Instead of just an all my orders screen where you see your individual orders, since the coordinators are organized onto teams, now having an all my teams view where you can see each other's orders. Massive improvement. Thank you, IT, for your help there. And then also they created a process where they add their initials to different things once they've gone through their process. A good visual cue to communicate to each other who's doing what. Love everything about this. Huge improvement. One more from Sophia here. So if you have special order product in a interior millwork order, so in a door order, and every door, so every kit is going to have, say, a special order slab. This can create an individual PO for each one of those special order slabs, but that's not really that helpful to send 30 POs to Tucker or Dyke or whoever. And so being able to consolidate those is hugely beneficial for everybody. Just streamlines the communication, prevents a lot of extra processing, etc. So that functionality exists, and Sophia teaching everybody how to do that here. Thank you, Sophia. Really good stuff. And one more here from the coordination team at Beasley. So this board needed some 3S, needed some of the items moved from in progress to completed. Love seeing this kind of progress. You guys are doing an amazing job. Here's the old flex trim area at Beasley, and it's just a little cluttered. Even though everything has a spot, there's just more struggle than there needs to be. So I think Mark deserves credit for this one. Here's a new location, just a whole lot less struggle when you're looking for specific product. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Vern, for helping the commercial design team. So Vern added some commercial hardware, some hold down items to our material scheme in MyTech, prevent opportunities for defects, and just eliminate a bunch of struggle for the commercial design team. So thank you, Vern, for this one. This photo represents Kaizen. It represents continuous improvement. So we made a couple runs at items coming back from service and making sure we know what they are, they get back in the system properly. We know that they're in inventory so that we can reuse them in the appropriate job. It's a mess to keep all of that straight when items are coming back. And so this is Vanessa and Blake and Colin, and I apologize if I'm missing somebody, but putting their heads together and improving this process that was already there. So I love everything about this, guys. When you get it ironed out a little bit, make us a video and walk us through the process. Lean is about the little improvements just as much as the big ones. So this fire extinguisher used to be sitting on the ground, and Juan got it mounted to the wall, holding the standard here. Thank you, Juan. I like this one a lot from Matt and the production team. So putting the answer where the question is, they clean the production office every day, but they only mop it once a week, which makes sense to me. Sweep it every day, but don't mop it every day. But how do you know if it's your day? When's the last time it was mopped? If it needs to be mopped that week? They just got a simple on-down switch, just that red and green switch. Red means it still needs doing this week. Green means it's already done. Put the answer where the question is. So this is the production office at Beasley, and I think when we built this out, we thought like this would be the manager's office and closed off, and I guess you need it for private conversations on occasion, but we just don't like stay hidden in our office as lean managers, right? We're on the Gemba. So it wasn't used. To Matt's credit, and Dean before him, they'd never used this office. Matt repurposed it into a training room. So he's got all kinds of training material and calls it the lean room, because lean is about continuous improvement and quality. And the way you get there is training, training, training. So I love everything about this. I had no idea this was a thing. And this is an amazing idea, executed really well, and looks like it's getting better every day. So thank you, Matt and production team. Tez and Vante with another beautiful example of what excellence looks like on delivery. Tez pointing out that they put cardboard corners against the wall before they lean this MDF up so they don't mess up the wall in the process of stocking this in for the customer. Man, we want to have deep respect for the customer, and these little things, I'm sure they're noticed, and they go a long, long way. And here where they stocked in this trim, there wasn't a good spot to put it except for in this hallway, so they made sure that there was enough room in the walkway, but also not having it right up against the wall. Again, risk of scuffing up the wall, so they kept it off the wall a little bit. That little attention to detail, that respect for the customer, thinking about the next person, is just such a win. You guys are awesome. Over to the truss plant. This picture represents more excellence in training. Umberto started this where on Fridays, all of the maintenance team gets together and they focus on one station or one machine. They all learn it together. What are the things that frequently go wrong? What does somebody need extra training on? Calibrating this DeRobo, for instance, can be a bear, and everybody's learning that together as a maintenance team. I love this practice. Training, training, training. Omar showing us more steps on the dust mitigation journey, adding this freezer curtain type stuff on the outfeed of the Robo, as well as better insulating this door as you go into the saw box, better insulating that so sawdust can't come around. More of that freezer curtain on the infeed side of the saw box as well as the out. Just a lot of really good stuff here, and it is making a difference. Way to go, guys. So this is the extruder where we build interior walls, and we had an issue where when we get longer walls, they end up trying to run away on these rollers right here, and that's what these long sticks are. You'd grab those and pull the wall back to you before the machine clamps. Just, it added an extra step. It was a hassle. If you didn't grab it in time, you had to unclamp the machine, pull it back, reclamp it. A lot of over processing and just struggle. And Jason had the brilliant plan to just increase the height of those rollers, sort of kick the wall back to you just a tiny bit. And it's simple solution where we had been dealing with struggle for a long time. So there is always continuous improvement staring you in the face. If you just have eyes to see it, way to go, Jason. Stephen improving a process that's just been kind of a struggle for a long time. So substitutions, if you're out of 2x6 number 2 and you got to sub up to an MSR to keep the job flowing, how do we account for that inventory properly? We've always sort of had a process and sort of not held the rope tight, and it just became a struggle and it wasn't trained on and all that stuff. So Stephen fixing that, creating a centralized place for this substitution sheet to go right where they're dropping off any call. They can write it down. It's centralized. He can grab it at the end of the day. So everything gets accounted for. It's easy on everyone. They don't have to go out of their way. Just really good stuff. We want to make things easy to do it the right way. Stephen, you've done that here. Way to go. More 3S happening in trusses. This is between tables 4 and floors. Looking just a little rough, not a lot of standardization. And here's Davis with his famous fancy videos. And I love the way you've just pecked at 3S all over the plant, making that a standard. Way to go. And last but certainly not least, an awesome improvement from Chewy, the legend in maintenance in the truss plant. Chewy's been at it a long time and comes up with amazing ideas. Here's one. So at the exterior panel line, when the table opens and closes depending on the size of the wall, and if you just have typical red flexible air hose running the table, that was getting in the way when it would close, and it would clamp on the hose and cause a defect where the hose gets punctured and you got to go fix it. Now he's just got that flexible coil hose, so it stays up and out of the way. It can extend out for an 11-12 foot wall, or it can close down for an 8-foot wall, and it stays out of the way the whole time. While he was at it, another improvement. The hoses going to the guns for the guy on the top side right here used to just be more of that red hose. They were kind of in the way. Even when the gun was put away, they were on the floor, at your feet, a tripping hazard and just annoying. More of that blue hose that'll coil up and stay out of the way. I like it, Chewy, a lot. Thank you. It's really amazing to watch everybody learning to see waste. We had improvements this week from almost every department at Husky, which feels like a really big milestone. You guys are doing an incredible job at seeing waste and doing something about it, even something in immediate, or getting a few people in a room and saying, hey, let's talk about this. I see action being taken all over the place. Really proud of you guys. Love seeing it. Stay after it. Have a good week.